The Nintendo Wii. I'm sure you know it exists, and if you don't, you've got some catching up to do. They hit the second tower? Anyways, the Wii was the ultra successful Nintendo console that was released in 2005. It changed the way we thought about video games, and the methods used to control them. How did they do this? By including this phallus object. Yeah, sins aside, this console is home to plenty of games. In fact, with so many games, it was fate that Sonic would end up on this console. And man, did he make his mark. That doesn't mean in a good way either. Before we begin, I want to mention the ground rules I set for this video. The game has to have Sonic in the name in order to make it on this list. Sorry Sega All-Stars Tennis, this is not your day. Also, this video is based off my first impression of these games, as this isn't a full in-depth review, and besides all that, there are no rules. So let's jump into this video. Please pray for my sanity. One thing many gaming fans wanted to see for all of time was Sonic and Mario crossing over. I mean, this makes sense. Classic gaming icons that once competed in the console wars joining forces? Sign me the fuck up. Anyways, this stream was idealized on the Nintendo Wii. Well, I mean, kind of. One thing that the Wii is known for are minigame collections. Whether it was the simple genius of Wii Sports or the friendship-ending chaos of Mario Party, the Wii is full of them. And unfortunately, they decided to make Mario and Sonic crossover a goddamn minigame collection. What is even more strange is that it focused on the Olympics. Yeah, Mario and a fucking hedgehog doing competitive swimming. The first game in this series was released on November 6th, 2007. Notice how I said series. Yes, there are multiple games under this banner, and I'm just confused as you are, so don't worry. Being the first game in the series, this one is pretty simple. You just have your minigames along with a Grand Prix-like mode called Circuit and a mission mode. They also threw in a record book and an Olympic trivia mode. Ah yes, Sega, just what my video game full of funny characters needed. Education. There's a reason I make YouTube videos. I am not the studious type. Get this shit out of here! The minigames themselves are alright. They ain't no Wii Sports, but I can see me and my non-existent friends having fun. Yeah, a big focus of this game is multiplayer, and being a Sonic fan, you can imagine my dilemma. Anyways, I had fun playing ping pong and swimming, but at the end of the day, that's all this game has to offer. Besides doing winter games, I don't know what else this series can do, but I guess we'll find out. Also, fuck Daisy, bro. She showed up in so many award ceremonies. She must be an athletic demon or something. I'll give this game a 5 out of 10. Now, this game is a lot better than the original one. I really enjoy the winter games like alpine skiing, ski jumping, and figure skating. This is probably because I did better in this game too, but let's ignore that. I do have beef with hockey and curling though. These were confusing, but were full of depth, so I would have to play longer to get them. But I don't want to do that. This is just another minigame collection, so it isn't that fun to revisit, but it was neat to play. One thing I can appreciate is the introduction of the Dream events. They basically combined the Olympic games with levels from Mario and Sonic games. I didn't unlock them all, but it was fun playing Radical Highway and Seaside Hill. They also pretty much added Mario Circuit from Mario Kart with items and shit, and I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty tough. I wish these games focused on this aspect more, as I feel it works well, and is more interesting than just the Olympics. I respect all the athletes who compete in real life, but this is video games. I want dumb shit that makes me say, hey, I know that guy! Like Fortnite. Yeah, my bad. They also have a mode for party games, but it devolves to just replaying the Olympic games. My fault for thinking shit was gonna be Mario Party, but it's not, so go home. There also is a shop for stimulating the economy, but fuck you, I don't like gear and music. I'll give this game a 7 out of 10 for being more based. This is how you make a minigame collection, man. I feel like London 2012 was the peak of the series, and I'm not even joking. While I prefer the winter games, the new ones they added in this game kicked ass. Beach volleyball was pretty fun, and the controls weren't just a waggle fest. Fencing was cool too. I felt like a pro running that shit. Might as well give me a sword in real life. They gave me a felony for that? And not only were the Olympic games fun, but the Dream events were fire. I love going through Sky Station and Battle Rock Galaxy with some unique gameplay. That felt more unique than the base games. Also, going through a casino level was cool, but man do I suck ass at this. I definitely should not be on the road. They also added a side mode I actually care about. I know, this is crazy. London Games is a mode where you explore London while talking to NPCs and playing minigames and Olympic events. The goal is to fill out a sticker sheet where you collect them from playing the game. This had unique minigames like counting, finding an invisible SPO, and a pop quiz. Now I know I'm not the smartest, but tell me why the text moves so slow. I blame that on my incompetence, not my small brain. Anyways, I was honestly glad to play the whole series available for the Wii. Seeing how the series progressed was fun, and I do not regret this at all. If I were to recommend a game, it would be London 2012, and I give this one a 9 out of 10. For a minigame collection, this was pretty good. So as many of you know, this game was a result of the Sonic team being split in half because Sonic 06 wouldn't work on the Wii, and you can definitely tell. Sonic and the Secret Rings is the first game in the storybook duology, and it didn't get coined that until the second game. How's that for planning? As an early-ish Wii game, this makes this game a motion-controlled nightmare. You can play this game with the Wii remote on its side and you move automatically. Yeah, a Sonic auto runner on a home console. Sounds brilliant. You have moves like the homing attack, but guess what? It's motion controls. You can move left and right, but again, motion controls. I wouldn't have a problem with this if it was fun to play, but this shit is genuinely the bane of my existence. I spent like 20 minutes on the first boss fight because it was hard to tell when I can hit him, and when he does the move that lets you attack, it's a 9 out of 10 chance he hits you and you die, or you lose all your rings. The damn video game boss fight had me pressed, and that low-key is saying a lot for me. The only compliments I can give this game are the premise is cool, and the story seemed interesting. The story begins with Sonic chilling until a genie wakes him up and tells him about how the Erasure Djinn is trying to escape the story of the Arabian Nights. Of course, Sonic being Sonic, he decides to help the genie, who is called Shara. After the tutorial, we encounter the Razor Djinn, and he shoots a fire arrow towards Shara that Sonic intercepts, like Devin Witherspoon, the fucking GOAT, and it turns out to be a curse. Sonic is given it until the life flame dies out to get the 7 world rings, or he dies. That is pretty dark, but gives a good reason for the blue blur to put up with this bullshit. Throughout the story, Sonic meets his friends, but they aren't really his friends. They are characters in the book that just look like them. Kinda confusing, but not at the same time, if you know what I mean. I only collected 1 world ring, as like I said, this is more of a first impression of this game. And man, I don't think I'm gonna come back to this. The controls are infuriating, and the auto running is annoying. This game does deserve the rap it gets. Also, side note, why do they play the main theme every time you beat a level? I mean, this shit is genuinely annoying, like, it's always... Hopefully Sonic and the Black Knight is better. I give this game a 4 out of 10. If you ever thought Sonic was too boring and lacked styles, then look no further than the Sonic Riders series. Sonic Riders Zero Gravity is the installment available on the Wii, and man is this game cool. Sonic and his friends have these cool designs that were introduced in the first game, and man are these good. This is how you do a redesigned Sonic, boom. Anyways, this game is a futuristic racer where you ride hoverboards called machines, I think? I mean, the gameplay looks hella fun, but there is obviously a massive skill ceiling that I will come nowhere close to in this video. Especially as this is my first time playing this game. This was honestly pretty challenging. I wouldn't call this game bad, just I would say I'm bad, which is interesting in terms of this video. All that aside, the story follows Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, who recovered this strange meteor that has anti-gravity powers, hence the name of the game. As far as the rest goes, I don't fucking know. But I do know the series has complex lore that you can make a whole college class about. So I don't want to explain it, nor would I be qualified to. If this game looks interesting to you, I would check it out. Maybe you'll click with it, or want to put the time in to become good. I do see the potential, but I'm just a bum. I'll give this one a 7 out of 10. Sorry, Sonic Riders fans. Coming off the amazing game that was Sonic the Hedgehog 2006, Sega needed to reevaluate the franchise at this point, so they decided to take the boost gameplay from Sonic Rush and translate it into 3D. This led to the announcement of Sonic Unleashed. This was the first boost game in the modern Sonic era, and it's pretty good, but that's my thoughts on the HD version. Funnily enough, this game got an SD port to the PS2 and the Wii, but the Wii one is the one most people know about. In fact, they call this version Sonic Unleashed. Since this is a new version, it plays different from the HD ones, but I would say they did a good job translating the controls to the Wii remote. You do use motion controls for the homing attack for normal Sonic, and you use it for attacks and arm shit with the Werehog. Yeah, I forgot to mention that in this game, Sonic turns into a Werehog at night, and he gets a new beat-em-up playstyle. This is what really makes the game controversial to many. You either mess with it or you don't. Honestly, in my opinion, it can be fun, and the levels are shorter in the Wii version, which is an improvement to the 15-minute levels of the HD version. Overall, this is a great Wii port of a decent Sonic game. I would rate this game an 8 out of 10. Let me know if you want me to cover this Wii port in more depth in the future. As mentioned before, this series was officially given the storybook moniker with Sonic and the Black Knight, which is funny since the series ended right after this one's released. Before we begin on the main game, I want to talk about this intro, man. You have Sonic being summoned by magic where Bro falls through the sky and somehow catches the chili dogs he had. This may be one of the biggest back maneuvers ever, but it was cool. Also, just seeing all this in cinema quality CG was pretty impressive. Anyways, was the game itself any good? I would say hell yeah, dude. They take the poor gameplay of Secret Rings and change it while adding an entirely new dimension, being the sword. I don't know why they gave Sonic a sword, but I am not complaining. Gone is the auto runner as you now control Sonic with the nunchuck. Really, the only motion controls are swinging your sword, and it's not hella complicated like Skyward Sword, so this was pretty refreshing to mess around with. Something I will always praise in this series are the stories, and this one is better than Secret Rings. You basically have to stop King Arthur from his evil rampage caused from his blade Excalibur. The story follows Sonic and his talking blade Caliburn as they take down King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, who are Sonic's friends pretty much, cosplaying as knights, which is a sentence I never thought I would say. Besides that, I do have some complaints with the level design, which is pretty simple, but it's not that big of a deal. Swinging a sword equals fun. This is honestly pretty good, so I would give an official Swimpy certified rating of 8 out of 10. Mascot racers, we all love them, and yes, I do mean Wii. Now, the Wii kart racing space is dominated by M&M Racing, but Sonic did have a decent game released to compete. Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing takes Sonic and combines him with random humans and Monkey Ball. Wait, Sega, I didn't know you like Monkey Ball, dude.
Dude, you like Super Monkey Ball? Pim. Bro, I knew I liked you, dude. Come here, bring it in. Bring it in, brother.
Mr. Boss, that's nice.
Anyways, despite being an M&M Racing clone, this does have some decent racing. I mean, we got the standard items like a projectile, lock-on projectile, and fast stuff, and that's pretty neat, but pretty run-of-the-mill. I do appreciate seeing other Sega franchises in this game despite my very limited knowledge, even if I had 5 teachers to the 1 me in school. This game has your standard 3-lap Grand Prix. Take that, Mario Kart World, you hoe-ass game. It also has your other basic time trials and versus type modes, but they do have something pretty unique, at least at the time. A shop. You can buy music and characters using the miles you earn while driving, and I mean, it's a cool way to get you to come back to this game, as that can be a problem with this genre. What I do appreciate even more is how the recently released Sonic Racing Crossroads almost feels like a spiritual successor to this game, and Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, with some equally insane roster decisions. Maybe we'll get a video on this game in the future. As for a rating, I will give this one a 7 out of 10. It's a decent kart racer. One last bit I would like to mention is the announcer they have. How cool is that? What do they have to say for us?
Shadow slots that mean machine into first place!
Yeah, never mind. I'm not playing this game ever again. And just like that, we're at the final game of this video, and man is it a great ending. With the recent backlash of Sonic having these crazy ass stories and too many bullshit friends, Sega reacted to this when they released Sonic Colors. This game built on the fan favorite boost gameplay introduced in Sonic Unleashed, but got rid of the furry shit. Yeah, for the first time in a minute, they had a Sonic game where you just play as Sonic in one gameplay style. Notice how I didn't say a game without a gimmick, because in this game you have the Wisps. Wisps are these aliens that Eggman decided he was going to enslave, but Sonic wants to rescue them. Since the Wisps are nice dudes, they let Sonic use their power to free their planets. You have moves like the Dash, Drill, and Frenzy that all make Sonic do crazy shit. You also have one for the boost, but who cares? Look at this floaty green thing, or these cubes. As mentioned before, Eggman did enslave these aliens to take over their worlds and used an interstellar amusement park as a cover for this operation. Sonic and Tails are suspicious of this front, so they pull up and investigate. They meet the Wisps, and Tails is able to build a translator device so they can communicate. This is how Sonic and Tails find out what really is happening. So they decide they will go planet to planet to save these creatures, also say some dumb shit about copyright or something. Yeah, one of the only complaints I have is how they completely turn Sonic into a blabbering moron, kinda like me. I get trying to add humor, but the older games were able to tell more compelling stories while having some jokes. The other complaint I have is the over-reliance on 2D. I know this is a Wii game, but the boost gameplay style always had issues with 2D, and this game is not different. All that aside, this game was a good chance to step back and evaluate how they approach Sonic, and I'm glad it came out. Even with the issues I have, however, I still will give this game a 9 out of 10. Sega locked in and introduced a gimmick that was pretty fun. Hopefully it doesn't come back though. Subtle foreshadowing. As you could tell from the range of quality of these Sonic games, I would say the Nintendo Wii is a microcosm of the Sonic franchise itself. The quality can range from a mess to some really fun and engaging games. I do enjoy seeing Sega experiment with the blue blur, whether it's sending Sonic to the future on a hoverboard, having him wield a sword to take down King Arthur, or go to the Olympics. The Wii is a great showcase on how different many Sonic games can be. My personal favorites on this console were Sonic Colors for its boost gameplay and fun gimmick, Sonic and the Black Knight for having a great story and a goofy premise, and Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympics for perfecting a minigame formula that focused on the Olympics. For some reason. The bane of my existence, however, would hands down have to be Sonic and the Secret Rings. Man, am I sick of its theme song. Anyways, that was the video. I hope you enjoyed watching my retrospective first thought something on every Sonic game on the Wii. Let me know down below what your favorite Sonic game on the Wii is and why. I would really like to know. And with all that out of the way, it's been Swimpy, and I'm gonna go play Sonic Colors. Got some aliens to save, motherfucker.